Well, this is a jointer. This squares up boards and gives us a flat surface with which to either mate or to make sure things are squared up, or I can bevel it, put a bevel on it, but it'll take out any wavy board. It will, usually it's used for joining, for example, that door over there. If you look at that door panel, it's several pieces joined together. Exactly. Well, in order to joint them properly, you have to make sure you have a perfectly flat surface in which to join them.
The surfaces match.
Exactly, so your surfaces are match. A planer does the same thing on a wide earth. This does it on a flat, or it will do it on the flat as well, but it's designed for a longer space, so it'll actually get rid of the waves easier.
Show me how curved is that, or bowed, or whatever you want to.
Well, let's see. We'll set it over here, and I'll show you how curved that is.
Wow. So you can see, here, let me get up. You can see how curved.
All right.
And we're going to fix that.
That is our plan.
Fire up the dust collector.
Still got a bit.
That one's pretty curved.
Yeah,
it's going to take a couple runs.
Well, that and the fact I screwed up on the first one when I was feeding it through. I was holding it on the outfeed side, not the infeed side.
So essentially you're wanting to use that surface to push down.
Yeah.
This one's really...
It's pretty bad. You can see every time I do this, closer to the end when it starts.
Right. That board right there was bad. Now look at the difference. You can see the difference now. So before, when he was first starting to run it through, you could see that front bow had a gap like that. Now look at the gap. It's pretty much smooth now. You see that gap ain't there.
It's flat.
That is awesome. Now, what's your measurement on that you've trimmed it off?
I took a bunch off of that because I screwed it up the first time. I'm at 3 inches.
What is it?
3 inches.
3. So we had to cut about a...
Well, I should only had to cut about a 1/4 of an inch off, but that first one I screwed up and I fed it through on the wrong side.
Where does that blade come up from?
That's your cutting head right there.
As you're running it through, right?
Yep.
Is there a blade coming up?
That blade's spinning. There's 3 blades in there that spin.
I gotcha.
These tables are actually offset by 1/8 of an inch. So this table sits 1/8 inch lower than this table, and this table sits level with the cutter head. So as the cutter head takes it off, it runs it right across this.
And you want to use that for what we just used it for, right? But also, what other?
Well, in this case, I'm going to use it to dress up these beams for ceiling, for faux beam finish, rather than try to run them through the planer.
The planer?
Exactly, because the planer, you've got a smaller, you have a lot more area for it to do this. With this, you have a longer area to try to straighten it out.
Right. So that planer, because you're feeding it actually to the
Right.
inside.
Your table's only 8 to 10 inches.
And with
maybe.
with this size of a planer, right?
You're only looking at about 12 inches of actual feed table before you start hitting things. Whereas there, you got a longer feed table.